Does Pokemon Legends Arceus live up to the hype? What do I think of it? What are my thoughts? Now that I've completed the game, I can finally give you my review of this, spoiler alert, incredible game. Let's get into it. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is BoTalksMedia. Today, I'm finally doing my review for Pokemon Legends Arceus. A few weeks late. I wanted to get this out sooner, but as I kept playing the game, I just kept getting, drug back into it. I needed to keep playing it. Originally, I was like, okay, I'll do the review after I finish and there will be spoilers in this video, after I finish the battle with Volo and Giratina, and then I was like, no, I need to finish this Pokédex and see that final fight with Arceus, and lo and behold, I finally did it, thanks to PJ Parker on Twitter for sending me a Spiritomb. I did not do that Wisp quest, and I guess I'll just talk about that now. It's kind of out of order, but the Wisps, I don't like this. They did this in Sun and Moon too with the Zygarde cores or cells or whatever. I don't like this, especially not in a game like this. And in Sun and Moon, it's okay because, there's more spots to fly to and it's, a more linear game. In an open world game like this, I mean, I guess you have to have content like this. Like Breath of the Wild has Koroks and every open world game has their big, collectible. So I guess they kind of had to have this to pad it out. I don't like it when it's like I have one left, and I have to go find it and track it down. I was using it in Cerebee's guide, and I missed one, and I had to go through the list twice. And I was like, nope, not doing it. I will trade for this for the freaking Spiritomb and just complete the Pokédex that way. That's something they could definitely improve upon in a sequel to this, which we will definitely get. Maybe just track which ones you do have, Or I don't think this is how it worked. It's just how it should have worked. But Ursaluna, the most useless ride Pokemon in the game, should have sniffed them out for you instead of just sniffing out random items. But enough about Wisps right now. This game, let's do a little bit of history. So when this game was announced, I was excited but kind of reserved, right? So this was coming off of Sword and Shield. And I did not listen. Sword and Shield has its good things and its bad things. Overall, I am slightly more on the negative side of Sword and Shield. I still enjoyed the game. I still put 100 hours into it, probably 150 if you count multiple playthroughs because I've done Nuzlocke and stuff. So are Sword and Shield good Pokemon games? Yes, absolutely. Did they live up to the hype of being the first new gen on a new console, like home console? Absolutely not. So I was a little burned on Sword and Shield. So seeing that Pokemon Legends Arceus was a fully open world game, well, zones, but open zones, it's basically open world. I was a little reserved, but I couldn't help be excited because of the promise of console Pokemon finally seemingly being realized. And here's my take. I think they did it. I cannot believe how much of a jump this is for Game Freak. I know it's like all these corporate overlords, and I shouldn't actually care this much, but it feels like I just watched my baby boy grow up. It feels like they finally did it, So I'm very pleased with their step in this direction because I think they did very well. I've heard that Monolith Soft helped with the terrain, which would kind of make sense. It would kind of make sense for how Game Freak was able to make a jump this big. I mean, we had the wild areas in Sword and Shield, which, by the way, complete beta prototypes for this game. I don't know if any of you caught on to that. Sword and Shield was basically a prototype for this game. That's no doubt in my mind. That was what that was. So in hindsight, it kind of makes Sword and Shield a little bit worse, I would say, even, because it's like, damn, this was just a test. But Pokemon Legends Arceus, here's what I'll say about the map design and all that. The maps are fine. They need to be more varied. I like open world Pokemon. I like running around and finding Pokemon. The map visually needed to be more, the visuals needed to be more varied. So you have 5 maps. 4 of them are basically the exact same, and then you have a snow map. The snow map is the worst map in the game, so in my opinion, you basically only have 4 maps. Now, one of those has a volcano, and the other one, and that same one has, the big beach, so that one's at least a little bit, and then there's, the Mirelands with all the swamps and stuff, but for a game this big, for a game that I put, 70 hours into, it's not varied enough, and especially when you consider the fact that the amount of Pokemon in this game, I'm not no Nat Dexter. I think it's fine to have a limited amount of Pokemon in each game from now on. I'm completely fine with that. It needed more. It needed more Pokemon because it's, in my opinion, it's ridiculous when you have Apom in every map in this game. I'm sure it's not actually in every map, but it might be close. Specifically once I got to the Alabaster Icelands, the ice map. Bro, you're seeing Pokemon that make no sense in this environment. I'll accept Electabuzz and Elekid and all that, But then you have, what are some good examples? I mean, like, Apom. Why is that monkey there? It makes no sense to me. So I think they could have done a better job at having more varied Pokemon. Why isn't Cragnole in there? Just throw Cragnole over there. I don't know. You see the same Pokemon too much. When you put 60 hours into this game, it gets very redundant seeing the same Pokemon over and over. So I think in a future game, you don't have to limit it to the point where there's only, you know, if a Pokemon's only in one zone, you don't have to limit it that far to where you can only find a Pokemon in this one area. But you need to limit it to maybe where they're only in 2 areas for sure. I think if this game got DLC, or at this point, if they do DLC, it'll be a whole new zone, so it wouldn't really fix this issue. But I guess for our next game, just have maybe 400 Pokemon, I think would be, maybe even 300. Maybe 300 would have been enough to really just, you know, solidify it as like a good roster and varied amount of Pokemon. But as it is right now at 242, it just felt a little limiting. Seeing, you know, you see Luxray and Shanks everywhere. And I get it, it's Sinnoh, or Hisui, you know, Luxray's a very popular Pokemon. You're going to put it in there a lot. But at a certain point, it kind of just feels like padding because they don't have any other Pokemon in the game to put there that makes sense. So on the one hand, I'm fine with them limiting the Pokemon. I think the selection of Pokemon in the game is pretty good, like, for what it is. I love the Gen 5 and Gen 6 attention for sure, giving all those new Hisuian forms. Especially Gen 6. You know, I'm not an Avalugg fan, but man, you know what? At least they tried. They failed with Avalugg. They made him even worse. But you know what? At least they gave Avalugg some attention. But yeah, overall, I mean, obviously I finished the game. I completed the Pokedex, so it kept me engaged long enough. I just think if I were a normal person, just not caring about Pokemon that much, but still playing the game, I would lose interest very fast, probably. But I'm a Pokemon fan, so, you know, my attention span is, you know, I don't know. I don't know why I'm going with this anymore, but more Pokemon in the next game, more varied locations, I think, is a must for the next Legends Arceus game. As a first attempt, this is fine. Next game, there's no excuse. They need to fix that. Let's talk about the other main aspect of this game that changed over previous Pokemon games, and that is the catching mechanics and battling. We'll get into that too. This is top tier. I cannot go back. I have not finished Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl yet. That's the first mainline Pokemon game that I have not finished, like, immediately since I was a kid. You know, ever since, you know, Platinum was my first Pokemon game, I've gone back and played all the ones before that. I've played all the ones after that on release. This is the first time I've never finished a Pokemon game, and I will get to it. But I was trying to play that right after I beat Legends Arceus for the first time, because I've beaten it twice now, and I don't know, man. Going back to random encounters specifically is really rough. Random encounters have their pluses and their downsides. Excuse my sniffliness. But overall, I think it's majorly negative because it just hinders your entire experience. If you don't feel like dealing with the random encounter, yeah, you can use repels, but, like, man, what if I don't want to use repels? Of course, with random encounters, you have more options for, like, Nuzlocke and stuff. I think those games will be more replayable in the future than Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus is very much like Breath of the Wild for me, where I don't know if I'm ever really going to want to replay it because that first experience I had with it was so good. I don't know if I'm going to want to taint that later on with another playthrough. So, like, yeah, you can't really do, you can do challenge runs, I'm sure there's ways to do it, but it just isn't as accessible, I think, in Legends Arceus as it is previous Pokemon games. But as I was saying, though, random encounters are terrible. When Let's Go came out, I was not a fan that they got rid of them. I was like, no, you can't change Pokemon, and now I'm on the complete opposite side. I think Sword and Shield kind of did it okay where they had both. I think that would be fine. But the catching mechanics in this game are so smooth that I don't know if they could ever go back, and having random encounters and that might, you kind of hinder that. I guess you can have the catching, because, like, in this game, even with, like, the tree shaking Pokemon, or, like, the Geodudes that are hiding in the rocks, you still have to you're in a battle, so, like, they have those base Pokemon mechanics in there for catching Pokemon, which is good. I'm glad they didn't completely remove that functionality of, like, throwing a Pokeball during a battle. I'm glad they didn't get rid of that. That seems like something they would have messed up on. But just being able to throw a Pokemon, switch around, have to use different Pokeballs and actually use your environment and kind of sneak around. I'm not a stealth fan, but I thought they did it very well. I would say, you know, for a sequel, just make that more varied. Once again, add more possible interactions in the overworld with the Pokemon, because it does kind of get to the point where you're just like, okay, throw an Oranberry. Every Pokemon in the game likes Oranberries. You're good to go. Throw a Pokeball. And then maybe more Pokeballs in the future. I'm weird, and I only like using regular Pokeballs. This game kind of broke that for me because you have to use the Gigaton balls. You have to use the Jet balls. Just add more. I mean, you basically only have 3 types of Pokeballs in this game. Add more fun ones, you know. Get really creative with how you catch your Pokemon in the next game, since that is now the main mechanic. The main mechanic isn't battling anymore. It's just catching because Pokemon Go, you know, all that. But yeah, the catching is amazing. I love that aspect of the game. I love the hordes. The hordes are amazing. I know that every game has its shiny method, and so this will be gone probably in the next game, but having hordes where you can just go and catch like 8 Pokemon at once and seeing all the text boxes pop up in the top left is so satisfying. And I guess while I'm on the topic of text boxes, the UI in this game is super clean. I know I've already mentioned Breath of the Wild a couple times. They definitely stole that, or not stole it. They were definitely inspired by Breath of the Wild's UI. Just how fast everything moves in this game is very impressive for me. Once again, trying to play Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, that game is so slow. I don't know how they made it. I mean, I know it wasn't Game Freak that made that game, so like maybe that's why. But the way when you finish a battle in this game, everybody's levels go up at once. When you learn a new move, it doesn't halt everything to ask if you want to learn that new move. You have to do it yourself in the menu, like an actual JRPG. It is so good how they've done everything to make this game more smooth and just user friendly, because for a long time there, I mean, Pokemon has been very stagnant in that aspect. They have not improved any of that stuff. You Pokemon levels up, you have to see a whole new text box about it. No, you don't. I don't need that. Just show me it in the screen, and I love that, you know, when you finish a battle, you can start moving immediately while that stuff is still going on. It's great. Same thing when you catch Pokemon. It just pops up real quick. It's really good. Evolution. You don't have to, you know, level up a Pokemon and cancel it every time if you don't want to. You have to go to the menu and press evolve. I have a shiny Goomy that I ain't evolving because Goomy's way better than Slagoo and Goodra, and now he's going to forever stay a little shiny Goomy, and I don't have to worry about it saying evolve every time I level him up. So that's perfect. Just a lot of quality of life stuff like that. But let's talk about the battles. So this is something that I don't really see a lot of people talking about, that they changed pretty drastically. Not really, but like kind of for Pokemon standards. I don't think are there abilities in this game. Yeah, I don't think there's abilities. So they got rid of abilities again. Although poor old Reggie is still too slow to start sometimes. So some of them kind of have them baked in. But the battles are very simplified. And I would not want this to stick around for every game, but as a one-off game, as a single game that doesn't even have online battling, I think this is great, just to add some more variety to the annualized Pokemon game. Every game should be a little different now. But you have your agile styles and your strong style moves that just kind of... this game is very quick, like I was talking about with the UI and how leveling up, it all just happens very smoothly. The battles last like 2 seconds. You get in, you throw a move out, you're done. Not that the game is easy or anything. I think this is probably one of the hardest Pokemon games they've released, especially that whole final thing with Volo. But the battles are just very to the point and concise. Either they win or you win, basically. And that's with the agile and strong style moves, because, you know, you use your agile style move first, you get 2 moves, and you use a strong style move, and it just, I don't know, it's just very clean. I don't think it would work well online. I don't know even how they would even do that. I mean, I guess it would work, but for online stuff, I think they should keep it how they had it. But for this one-off game, I think it's great as a single-player Pokemon experience. So I really like the battles. Just a little fun thing I love. When you're in a random encounter, you can literally just walk away. So good. There's a button for running away, but it's so nice. And I guess actually that's something I should mention. The dynamic cameras are gone. So when you're in a battle in older Pokemon games, the cameras would just kind of move around and show you what your Pokemon are doing or what the enemy Pokemon's doing. In this game, you control yourself while you're running around in the battle. This doesn't add that much, but it just feels so clean. It adds to the whole idea of everything being kind of in this world. You're not going into another loading screen. It just happens. The battles happen on the train you were at when the battle started. That's so good. That makes this whole game feel so much smoother, so much cleaner, so much more polished than other Pokemon games. So I've seen some people saying they should add the dynamic cameras back. I guess they could have that as an option, but for my money, I will take this little let me run around my Pokemon as they're battling any day of the week. This is so good. And I guess while I'm talking about that, I have to say, you know, it's a meme now with animations and models and fidelity, and I guess I'll get to graphics after this, but the animations in this game are very much improved, at least the moves anyway. They really outdid themselves with, well, you know, maybe not outdid themselves, let's not get ahead of myself right now, but they really did good with the animations in this game, specifically like Flamethrower, all like the special moves that look really good in this game. So bravo to Game Freak for, you know, improving some animations. And that's why they limit the Pokédex. Not to ramble about that again, but like, you can't do that when you have 900 Pokemon in the game. You need to cut it off at a certain point. So if having 250 Pokemon is what it takes to get better animations and all that stuff and higher quality, you know, interactions with your own Pokemon, I'll take that. You know, that's fine. That's fine with me. We get Pokemon games every year. We don't need every Pokemon in every game, you know? So the animations are very good, and let's go and talk about the graphics in general now. So when this game was revealed, and you know, you'd see all the 2 FPS Pokemon in the background, I was pretty negative on it visually. I was even negative on it visually until a week before it came out, and now that I've beaten it and played it, it's fine. I mean, I think the thing you have to understand is, and everybody is making this comparison. I know I hate to keep mentioning this one game, but Breath of the Wild, man. I think the issue with Legends Arceus is its lighting. I think if this game had a different lighting engine or something, it would look better. The models look better in this game than in Breath of the Wild. I don't know if you guys know that. The models in this game are way higher poly counts. They look way better. It's just the lighting. The lighting in this game is wacky. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes, like in the, I think it's the 4th area, the Coronat Highlands. You're in this dark-ass cave. The lighting is so bad. I was in the ice cave with Infernape, but I threw Infernape out, and his like golden shoulder pads and like knee pads were completely blacked out. I don't know what's going on. So the lighting in this game, I think, is its biggest issue. I think if they fixed the lighting, this game would have looked completely fine. Maybe not amazing, but I think it would have looked good. I don't think people would really be complaining. Obviously, you have the memes of like, oh, the trees look bad, and like, yeah, the trees do look bad. That's one aspect, man. And it's only some of the trees. I can't believe I'm actually talking about the fucking trees in this Pokemon review. But overall, I mean, visually, I think this game is very competent. And I think with the right lighting, it would look very good. So props to them for that. I think, you know, once they... I think we're probably at peak for Pokemon on Switch graphics. But next console, once they keep... I mean, I know it's... We're giving Game Freak... You know, they're already on spare time, right? But... keep giving them more time, and they'll get it eventually, is what I'm trying to say here. But what else is there to talk about? So let's talk about the story some. So, it's fine. The characters are fine. I like Volo. Volo's great. I like seeing all the Diamond and Pearl characters, kind of their ancestors, and seeing how their lives were different. Like, specifically, I really like the well, I like the fact that there's no real enemy team. I think that's pretty good. I like the trio of sisters that are bandits. And I love how Candace is one of them, and you know, she's a gym leader in Diamond and Pearl. So it's just fun to see the parallels to where these characters were in their ancestry versus where they are now. There's some weird black and white characters like Ingo in here, and clearly someone that's related to Clayton from Black and White. So I don't know. I might do a video on that because I think we're getting some black and white stuff soon, probably, especially with the genies in there. I don't know what they were doing adding a new genie now, so there has to be something with black and white soon, I feel like, but that's another video for another day. I don't know. The story itself is fine. You just catch all the Pokemon. I like at the end where... Okay, here's the weird thing with the story. You fight Dialga, or whoever, Palkia, whichever one you pick, because you have to pick your side with the Diamond and Pearl clan, which I don't like either of those characters personally. But after that, the game ends, and it's like, okay, you won. And then the post-game happens, and then the final battle with Volo happens. I wish they had just not made that post-game. I wish that was just the game, because that final fight with Volo is really damn good. Don't lock the Arceus fight behind it, or don't make that part of the story. Don't make beating the game require you to finish the Pokédex. I think that'd be really extreme. But you don't have to finish the Pokédex to do the Volo stuff. Volo is such a good character. I love this fight, that theme. It's probably the hardest fight in all of Pokemon. You know, you have to fight in a souped-up Cynthia team, then Giratina again. That was... I was very surprised when I got that fight. I was like, holy shit, they're not messing around right now. And like I was talking about the battle system, you know, you don't really have much room for error in this game. Each turn, basically, it kills a Pokemon. Either you're dying or they're dying. So, it took me a couple tries. I had to spam Cresselia Lunar Blessing to heal and obscure myself. So, I kind of cheesed it. But, really, really good final fight. That should have been where the story ended, in my opinion. I wasn't seeing the Volo twist coming, to be honest. Normally, Pokemon games are very predictable. I don't know if I just wasn't, like, paying enough attention to the story. I don't know if he hinted at it. Obviously, he was obsessed with the plates and, like, Arceus, and he wanted to learn more. But I just thought he was a fun little background boy. And no, he ended up being, for all intents and purposes, the main antagonist of the game. I thought that was really cool. I love how Cyrus's ancestor, Silene, is just, like, a good character, you know? She's just a good guy. I love how... for some reason I didn't make this connection at first, but I looked up a list of like all the characters in this game versus their counterparts in Diamond and Pearl. For some reason it didn't connect to me that Commander Kamado, the leader of the Galaxy Corps, is Professor Rowan. I don't know why that didn't connect to me. Who else do we have? Laventon is a weird character, and this is the weird thing I don't like about this game. So we're in ancient Sinnoh, Hisui. It's called Hisui, and then, you know, it becomes Sinnoh or whatever. So we're in ancient times, and yet this motherfucker is just strolling up from France. He's from Galar, so he's just coming from Galar. Yeah, characters mentioning Alola. I wish they hadn't done that. I feel like it should have been completely like isolated. If this is like ancient times where Pokemon are feared, terrible creatures, I feel like you want to have characters from France flying over to what is Japan. It's a little weird to me. And it also, I guess, nothing limits Pokemon. They can do whatever they want. They could just had a game further in the past before Alola existed if they wanted to do like an Alola Legends game. But it's just a little weird to me that they were mentioning other regions in this game. I do like that you can get that Alolan Vulpix though, so that was fun. What other characters are there? Your rival, the counterpart to the gender swap character that you don't pick, doesn't do anything. I don't know what's up with that. And then the Diamond and Pearl clan, like I said, I don't really like them that much. I don't really like any of the trial people that much, the lords or the protectors or whatever. They're all fine. I don't like the guy in the in the snow area who at first I thought the blue pattern on his chest was a tattoo. No, that's fur. That's I don't know why I said the word fur. That's his chest hair. I don't like it. And he's always doing squats. I don't know what's going on with that man's mind. I think that man's on something. I forget his name, but most of the characters in this game I don't really like that much. But Volo and Stylian are both great. And I think that about wraps up my thoughts on the story. What else is there? Oh, the battles. I guess this might be the last thing I really need to talk about. Not the battles, the noble battles, the boss battles, I should say. Sorry about that pause there. No. I respected when they tried the trial stuff in Sun and Moon, and I respect them trying something new with this. There's no depth to these noble battles. They are very boring. They are very one notes. They're kind of BS at times. I don't know if you guys have done the Arceus fight yet. That fight sucks. It's really cool visually. Like, it's a really cool final thing to do. I'm glad it's in the game. I don't know if I could do it without dying. And I'm not saying I don't like it because it's too hard for me. I do like the fact that you can just continue with your current progress if you got to that meter. I thought they did that very well for people like me that didn't want to, sit there grinding it for 2 hours trying to deal without taking damage. But the noble fights are very shallow. It's cool. It's cool that they try something new. I don't want to ever see that again. Throwing bombs is not very fun to me. You get cool cutscenes. That's basically it. Yeah, I think in the future, I don't know if they could. I mean, just having it be a regular like Pokemon fight would have been kind of lackluster at this point since they changed so much else in the game. But I don't know what else they could have done, to be honest. Because the noble fights are just, once you do it once, you've done it all of them. And then I guess the final thing I want to touch on is the Genies, man. This is a weird thing to touch on, I guess, but I had so much trouble catching these damn Genies, especially in Amorous. So what happens is, after you beat the post-game, after you beat Volo, you talk to Kagita, the granny gilf, Cynthia, and she's like, okay, all the Genies are out there, you gotta go find them, and they all stay in the same areas. They aren't like completely running around the entire maps, but they stay in this big area, and they are so fast. I throughout the game, I didn't really use like the stealth sprays or like the scatterbangs or anything. You kind of have to use those, and then what I did I threw the jet balls to stun them, and then ran in. But I like that. Well, I don't like it from the aspect of an Amorous fucking pissed me off. I don't know what was going on there. That took me like an hour to catch an Amorous. But I like it from the aspect of like what I was saying earlier, just more variety to catching the Pokemon. It adds, it's a little something extra. You have to kind of rethink your strategy for these Pokemon specifically, and they're legendary, so it makes sense. Oh, and then one last thing. I just thought of this. I want to touch on this just really quick. It's not like a negative thing. I mean, it kind of is, but I thought it's funny, so I wanted to add it in. So before you get to the final fight with Volo, you have to catch all the legendary Pokemon, or most of them from Sinnoh, and you have to catch the 3 Pixies, or are they called Pixies? Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf. I don't know how widespread this glitch is. I've seen a couple people mention it. My game glitched, and I caught Mesprit twice. I caught Mesprit, and then she spawned again. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of just leaning back on the couch. I wasn't really paying attention, so I thought she just broke out of the ball. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll throw another ball. Lo and behold, I had 2 Mesprit, and then the game locks you out of getting a Zelf. You can't go and get a Zelf at the other lake. I forget what lake a Zelf spawns in, but so you get locked out. So be very careful when you're doing that quest to make sure you get all 3 of those lake legendaries, because I got kind of shafted out of it. I was very lucky, and I tweeted about it on Twitter, and some random account, I guess, was looking up that Pokemon because they happened to them in the opposite way. This guy got 2 Azelfs instead of all 3 of them, so we just did a 1-for-1 trade of our extra Azelf and Mesprit, so I got lucky there. Most people are probably not going to get that lucky, so be very careful. Save before you do the lake legendaries, because that can shaft you. I mean, if you can't complete the Pokedex, you can't do the final boss, you can't get the shiny charm, which I have not done, by the way, because you have to complete all the research entries up to level 10, and I'm not trying to do that right now. Maybe one day. I'm good for right now, though. I got to get the Xenoblade, and that's what I'm going to go do right now, because we're wrapping up here, guys. That is my review of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Longer than I expected. I really, really like this game. I am excited for the future of the Pokemon series again. I think there's a good chance we see either DLC for this game in a few weeks on Pokemon Day, or even Gen 9, so I will, of course, be covering all that stuff as it happens, and I will be doing videos on it when it comes out. So subscribe for more Pokemon content, and other Nintendo content, too, of course. Xenoblade's about to be a big focus for me as I finally trudge my way through Definitive Edition. I'm so excited to start that game. But yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus, man. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMedia. Subscribe here, as I said, for more Pokemon and Nintendo content. Instagram, TikTok, all the places. Twitch, I don't stream there very often, but sometimes. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.